What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel for another 4K Blu-ray review. And today's review takes us back to 1999 for a movie you probably haven't heard of. The supernatural horror flick from writer/director David Koepp and starring Kevin Bacon, Stir of Echoes. For its 4K release, we get this Amazon exclusive steelbook with a slipcover. Check it out. The slipcover actually has, it's like a, see that? It's the missing girl. It's kind of cool. On the back, some information. And then the steelbook, it's almost the same cover. Inside, 4K disc, Blu-ray disc. Dig and sleep. 2 key words in the movie. The 4K disc has the special features in addition to the Blu-ray disc. So you don't need to swap discs. That's a big plus. The reason why I mentioned that you probably haven't heard of this movie is because it came out a couple months after The Sixth Sense. And if you remember, The Sixth Sense was the talk of the town back then. Personally, I think that movie is a tad overrated and not really rewatchable. Because once you've seen the ending and you know the twist, I mean, what else are you going to learn? I did mention that in the 4K review I did last year. This movie, I much prefer. I used to own it on DVD and watched it a bunch of times in the early 2000s, but I haven't watched it in years. It's probably been like 20 years. After rewatching it again, I still enjoyed it.
To come into focus, the letters spell sleep. Sleep.
This is probably one of my favorite Kevin Bacon films. Well, at least top 5. He gives a great performance, as he usually does, of a dad who's seeing visions of a missing girl. And while the supporting cast is a bunch of mid-name actors, together with Kevin Bacon, they all give great performances in this 90-minute horror flick that does offer some creepy scenes. And it also has a great score by James Newton Howard to help sell the tension. Let's get into it. Kevin Bacon stars as Tom Witzke, a lineman working in Chicago with his son and soon-to-be expecting wife. While at a party, his sister-in-law hypnotizes him, which unlocks something in his mind. He is seeing visions that he can't explain, but it has something to do with a missing girl from the block that he lives on. His son also seems to have visions and talks to imaginary objects, which are actually ghosts. As the visions and episodes become more intense, Tom realizes he needs to solve the case and track down this missing girl before it drives his family apart. For the first time in 4K, I was impressed with the 1851 image in both Dolby Vision and HDR10. Though the film was set in dreary Chicago, the black levels and shadow detail were fantastic. The colors of the sky and the townhouses on the street looked great. For a film from the 90s, I think that Lionsgate did a great job restoring this and preparing it for 4K. The audio was presented in Dolby Atmos, and while it's not going to win any awards, it still sounded great and gave you chills while watching, in addition to the few jump scares that occurred. I especially liked the glowing red image that Tom was seeing with the buzzing sound. Creepy to say the least. Like I mentioned, the James Newton Howard score added to the edginess of the film, and the ambient effects could be heard coming from the surround speakers to enhance the scene. In terms of special features, there's a ton of stuff that has come over from the previous releases, such as behind-the-scenes stuff, documentaries, interviews, deleted scenes, screen tests, and more. For this new 4K release, we also got a new retrospective with Koepp, and then a look at Fred Murphy, the director of photography. A lot of stuff here for a little-known movie. If you like The Sixth Sense and those types of movies, you're going to enjoy this as well. It's another great performance by Kevin Bacon in this supernatural horror film that looks and sounds good on 4K. 8.5 out of 10. Well, that's today's review. Come back again for another 4K Blu-ray review.
Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share, bruh.